Hey, welcome back to the kitchen. St. Patrick's Day is coming, and one of my favorite things to bake for St. Patrick's Day is Irish soda bread. It's the only time of year I make it, and I have friends who absolutely want loaves of soda bread. So I have one friend that we have corned beef and cabbage with on St. Patrick's Day, and they always get a loaf of our Irish soda bread. And then my very best friend Janet hosts a green pancake breakfast on St. Patty's morning, and I always take 2 or 3 loaves over there. So we're going to make it today. It's really super easy. It's not a yeast bread, so we're going to get started. So we're going to start by using 2 cups of flour. I use white lily flour when I'm baking to get it where I need it. So 2 cups of flour, put all the dry ingredients in it. We have, the recipe calls for 5 tablespoons of sugar, but we only put 4 in and 4. We're going to reserve the last tablespoon of sugar for the top of this. Now we need 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. And then we need a teaspoon of salt. That's right. Teaspoon of salt. We need 3/4 a teaspoon of baking soda. As always, take a big fork when I do my dry ingredients and just mix it all together. I just mix these up really good, stirring them a bunch of times, making sure all the dry ingredients are really mixed up well. Next is taking 3 tablespoons of butter. I like to cube this up. It has to be really chilled. It has to be really cold butter, just because it's the easiest. So I just cut it in small cubes. Set these up. Butter. It's nice little chilled butter cubes. We're going to stick it in here, and we're going to just spend about 5 to 10 minutes mushing the flour, all the dry ingredients with the butter, till we get it to like a pea size. Butter incorporated here in the flour, so it's really kind of pebbly. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the buttermilk. It's the final piece. I use it for a lot of things. I use it in my cornbread. And then I plan all the things that I need to mix it up really good into the flour mixture. Now look at that. Yummy, 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 yummy. So they used to make these wonderful baking raisins, Sun-Maid. I've thought many times about reaching out to them and saying, what did you do with my baking raisins? Because I loved them. But I did find these mixed jumbo raisins, so I bought them. And we're going to use about 2/3 of a cup. And I love that they have different colors. So I'm dumping those raisins in here. And we're going to mix them in to get our flour out. One thing I forgot to mention about the white lily flour is, which I did add, typically with white lily, if the recipe calls for all-purpose flour and I'm using white lily, I usually add, besides 1 cup, for every 1 cup, I add 2 extra tablespoons of the white lily flour because it's a soft flour and it finely milled. Okay, so we've done this. We're going to get our hands really floured because this is a very sticky mess. Okay, so we're taking this out on. I do everything right on my quartz countertop, which is really kind of nice to have that surface to work off of. I'm gonna roll it so I get some more flour on it. And then, there we go. Pat it out. Let me grab Let me get all this goodness out of here. We gotta get all the dough. Okay. I think I'm gonna add a few more raisins into it. So I'm just gonna dump some. I kind of ad-lib sometimes. I don't like to do it too much with baking, but sometimes I feel like it needs a little more. So I added a few more raisins to it. So you just turn your dough over, and the idea is to get it into a less sticky ball that we are going to in this little patty cake, I call it. And we're going to prepare a pie tin. This is what I cook them in. Okay, I'm going to wash my hands here. Pie pan up. We're going to bake this for 40 minutes in a 375-degree oven. And if you think you might like to try this recipe, sorry, I'm gonna rework it here a little. If you think you might like to, I need a little more flour so it's still a little sticky. If you think you might like to try this recipe, it'll be available for you. All you have to do is like, follow, and put in the comments Irish soda bread. We're going to pop it in the pan. We're going to round it out of sugar filled across the top. And I don't usually use the whole tablespoon. On 375. Timer just went off on our Irish soda bread. So while it was baking, hopefully you were out looking for that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So here's our Irish soda bread. Isn't it beautiful? We're gonna pop it out of the pan, let it cool, and there it is, Irish soda bread.